Namaste. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a 30-minute chair yoga class. This has been designed for my local senior center, but it's really a good class for anybody from beginner levels on up. You could definitely find some benefit from the class, and we're going to do some different moves than what we usually do. We'll still have our opening pranayama, our breathing exercises, and our warm-ups. We'll do a little extra shoulders and back warm-up this time. And then we'll have our balancing, but our sequence, I'm going to blend in some standing poses with our seated poses. So I will kind of level those in so you can choose where you're most comfortable engaging in yoga today. You might be happiest just sitting in the chair and doing the pose, or hey, maybe even just watching. But if you're feeling like you're up for a challenge, I'll definitely provide some cues to step it up to a standing pose. And we'll go from the little easier ones up to the hardest, and you can just join in to whatever level makes you comfortable. To begin, it looks like my cat might be joining us today. This is Bao. He's a little shy, but he might just pop in once in a while. He often does when I do yoga. But anyway, so yeah, we'll work on some back bends and some strengthening moves, and we'll begin by taking a tall seat in the chair. Roll your shoulders up and back. Check in with your posture. See that your shoulders are sitting square over your hips. Check in to see that your ankles are not tucked under or sticking out or flopping sideways. You want everything to be squared off and your joints to be in alignment as possible. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, unless you're watching the cat. So breathe in and breathe out. Just kind of slow it down a little bit. Make each breath a little bit deeper and each exhalation a little bit longer. You want your breath to flow naturally, but be measured, nice and easy and steady. Find the pace that's comfortable for you, but that you're still getting that more intense quality of slow, deep, even breaths. Our practice today will include some back bends that'll open the front of the chest and facilitate nicer breathing as long as you're not clenching with the effort. So remind yourself to breathe deeply throughout our practice. We're so used to tipping forward. We're sitting on the couch and slouching, or we're bent over our phones or our work desk. Use this practice to focus on opening the heart. We'll do some wonderful back bends, some more challenging than others, but we'll find our place, starting with the breath and ending with the breath. All right, let's open our eyes, roll our shoulders up and back just once or twice, and then take your hands to the back of your head, tip your chin towards your chest, and see if you can't feel the back of your neck stretch out a little bit. Don't add too much weight with your hands, just enough to lengthen the muscles in the back of the neck. And then slide the fingers down towards the bottom, the base of the neck, and lift your chin, seeing if you can kind of pull those neck muscles. Just spread them a little bit as you lift your chin, and maybe taking the weight of your head back behind you. And then come to neutral. You're going to look over your left shoulder. And if you want to deepen the twist, if your neck is comfortable with that, you can take your hand to your cheekbone and just apply a little bit of pressure so that you can relax into the twist without tensing the neck muscles. Return to neutral and go to the other side. Again, using your fingers on your cheekbone, if that feels comfortable for you, to deepen the twist. Return to center, take the hands to the back of the head, and then once again, let your chin dip towards your chest, lengthening the muscles in the back of the neck. They say our head weighs about 10 pounds, right? So we have these neck muscles in constant action to support the head, to maintain the posture. And then lift the head, slide the fingers down the back of the neck, maybe giving yourself a little massage here. And then clasping at the base of the neck and then lifting the chin. See if you can stretch those muscles, encourage them to release a little bit. And as long as you're comfortable, let the weight of the head rest back. Just going to move everything nice and slowly as we warm up. And then coming back to neutral. Let's take the left ear towards the left shoulder. You can feel the weight here. You can try to massage these muscles a little bit looser. And you can take your left hand to the top of your head and maybe just add a little more stretch to that side of the neck. All the while sitting tall, breathing deep and evenly. And then release. Same thing other side. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder. You can stretch these muscles out along this side of the neck. Add a little weight. Once again, sitting tall, moving slowly, treating your body with respect and care. And then coming back to neutral. Let's stretch the forearms a little bit. It's a muscle here. We don't really stretch this very often, right? But there is one pose that we want to do that that would be helpful to have that warmed up. So you can start with the fingers and stretch them a little bit, but then gradually move up to the palms so that you're really pushing that forearm and getting this side of your forearm, giving it a little stretch. It may feel tight because this is not a move that most of us do on a daily basis, right? I can't think of a thing that I might do. And then release. And then starting gently on the other side, maybe with the fingers, touching them a little bit and moving up to the palm and really kind of seeing if you can get that inner forearm to stretch and open up. Gentle with your wrists. And if you have carpal tunnel, be super gentle. And release. Shake it out a little. Let's swim the arms back, working on opening the chest and pinching the shoulder blades together. So take your left arm forward, up and back. And again, pinching the shoulder blades in. And then take your right arm down, forward, up and back. Pinching the shoulder blades in. And let's take both arms forward, up and back like we're doing the backstroke, really pinching in the shoulder blades, opening up across the chest, across the clavicles, the collarbones. And one more time, swim it back like we're doing the backstroke. And release. Okay, sitting up tall, we'll move along with our usual warm-up. Take the arms out to the sides. Inhale up. Exhale, the arms come down. Breathing in, the arms stretch out and up, maybe to look up this time. And exhale, fully taking the arms down, drawing in the core, pulling up the diaphragm. And then release. Inhale. Breathing in, stretching tall, and exhale. Let's do it one more time just because it feels so good. Inhale, the arms come out and up. And release as we exhale. Kind of felt like Bob Ross when I said that. Okay, let us take the feet just slightly wider. And we'll do some side stretches. Maybe let's scoot over to the left a little bit and take your right hand to the seat of the chair. I just kind of want to get us used to that feeling of the palm being on the seat of the chair because we're going to be using that motion. Your left hand is going to come out and reach up, push down in the right sit bone, and then reach it over. Kitty, hi. And then come back. Let's scoot over towards the right. We can put the left palm on the seat of the chair. Maybe even grasp your fingers around the edge of the chair. Sitting tall, take your right hand out to the side, straight up to the sky, and then arch it over. Really stretch those side muscles, pushing down into the right sit bone as we reach up and over with the right hand. Back to center, back to the first side. Scooch the hips over, kind of drive that right hand down into the chair so it really takes some weight. And reach out and up and over. Side stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. I put up this curtain to kind of reduce the look of the darker room and the clutter, and the cat just wants to kind of get behind the curtain. Other side. It seems very mysterious to him. I'm hoping he just doesn't want to climb it and tear it down. Anyway, oh, side stretch, that feels good. And return. Okay, let's do some cat-cows and then we'll do our spinal twists. So our legs are in good position. Let's kind of straighten our spine and hinge forward at the hips a little bit. I'm resting my palms on my knees for stability. And I'm going to pull my heart forward as I'm arching my back, lifting my chin for cow pose. And then rounding, make the spine into a C shape, just like a black cat on Halloween. And arch forward, pulling the heart forward and through, and rounding and pulling through. Move with your breath if you can. Inhaling and exhaling as you round. It kind of helps crunch the lungs in. And then as you pull the chest forward, fill the lungs with air. Just going at your own pace. Cat-cows. And then let's return to neutral spine. We'll do our spinal twists. We're going to take our left foot and cross it over right at the ankle. If you prefer to go a little deeper, you can take your knee, cross at the knee, or open up your legs like a figure four if you really want to work on that hip. You can even push down a little in the direction of this thigh to open up the hip more so. To do the twist, we'll take our right hand outside the left leg. You're going to roll your, left and right's so hard for me. You're going to roll your left shoulder up and back. You'll start to twist just with that shoulder rolling action. Sit up tall. If you want to apply a little counter pressure with the right hand to help deepen the twist, that feels nice. But be gentle with yourself. We're just warming up. Breathing deep, nice and easy. Feel the belly expand with each breath. And feel it contract as you exhale. And then unwind. Change the cross of your legs. You might, again, ankle, cross at the knee, or take your right foot, your right ankle on top of your knee. You can stretch that thigh open if you want. Everything seems so much tighter as the weather drops the temperatures. Left hand goes outside the right knee. You're going to take your right shoulder roll up and back to help initiate the twist and broaden the chest. You can kind of help lift your belly around your thigh if it gets trapped in there. But sitting tall, you want your spine straight up and down, but spiraling around that axis. Nice, easy breathing in our twist. One more breath here. Nice deep inhale, full exhale, and then unwind. Come back to neutral. Let's stand up, and we will work on some of these same warm-up moves standing. You can remain seated, obviously, if you like, and you feel that's more your speed today. So I like to start with my feet a little bit wider than my hips, just so I have a firm base. I'm going to inhale, the arms come out and up, breathing in. Exhale and fold. Only goes deep as feels right for you. Your first fold specifically might be a little bit less close to the ground as you warm up your spine and your hamstrings. Let's straighten the spine, take the hands to the hips and come on up, tight core. And repeat. Inhale, out and up with the arms. Exhale, dive down towards the ground, only going as deep as is right for you in this moment. Breathe in and breathe out in your forward fold. And then straighten the spine, take the hands to the hips, tight core, and rise up. One more time. Inhale, out and up. Maybe look up. Exhale, fold. Enjoy this last deep stretch. You might want to take it in the hamstrings if those are feeling tight, or if you want to bend your knees and get a stretch in your back. Listen to your body. Do what your body needs. Just be safe and enjoy the moment. Okay, straighten your spine, take your hands to the hips, and come on up. Okay. Let's do our sun salutations, and then we'll do tree pose and get into our sequence. I think I need to readjust my room. I don't have the biggest space here, but it'll do. So for the sun salutations, you're going to be facing your chair. You're going to stand in mountain pose. This is Tadasana. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, fold, take the palms to the seat of the chair. And if you want to bend the elbows to go deeper into your fold, you're welcome to. And then lift up to a flat back. Breathe in here and exhale. You're going to step the right foot back, followed by the left, and then stretch the hips up and back, opening the heart, letting the heart come towards the earth for downward facing dog. Nice easy breaths here, nice deep breaths. Then I'm going to push forward to plank pose. If you want to make your plank a little more challenging, you can inch your feet back a little and drop your hips and see if you can straighten out that plank. That's an option, not a requirement. You do what feels right for you. If you want to add a little chaturanga, we can do a little dip with our biceps and then step the right foot forward. Step the left foot forward, bend the knees, arch the back, lift the heart for baby cobra pose. And then slowly round up to stand, take the shoulders up and back, and return to Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's move on, doing the other side. Inhale, the arms out and up. Exhale, we fold, the palms come to the seat of the chair, bending the elbows if you want to deepen your forward fold, and then rising back up to a flat back. From here, we'll step the left foot back, and then the right foot back, lifting the hips high to sky, opening the armpits, and then stretching it out for downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. In your downward dog, take nice, even, deep breaths and relax. Even when there's a strain or stress, come back to the breath. Let's push forward onto the balls of our feet, take our shoulders over our wrists, strong core, plank pose. Again, you have the option to stretch those feet back a little and drop the hips so you have a straight plank. Either option is a good one. You can do a little bend with your biceps, pushing down and up for chaturanga, stepping your left foot forward, then the right. Bend the knees so that you can really get an arch in that spine, lifting up for cobra pose. If you want to make a little snake sound, go ahead. And then round up to mountain pose. We're returning to Tadasana. Great. Okay, let's do our tree pose. You're going to come on the side of the chair. I guess let's all start on the right side of the chair, just so we're speaking the same language. You can obviously do whatever side works for you. Starting in mountain pose, just like we did for our sun salutations, tighten the core, maybe tuck the pelvis slightly, broaden across the shoulders. I like to take the left hand to the back of the chair. Mentally ground your energy down in that left foot. Get light in the right, bending the knee and opening up the hip. You can leave your toes on the ground and rest your heel against your shin, or you can lift your foot up to your calf. If you want to take it even higher, you're welcome to press your foot against your inner thigh and your thigh against your inner foot. You just find what your body needs today. Find some steadiness and maybe start to grow your branches. Taking the right hand up in the air. If you're feeling steady, you can take the left hand up as well. It's an option. If you feel wobbly, you can go with the wobble, or you can take your hand back to the chair for steadiness. Either way, take your focus off into the distance. Find a drishti, a point to focus on that's stable and still. Soften your focus. Deep breathe. And release. Okay, let's go around the other side of the chair and find our balance on the left. Again, starting in mountain pose Tadasana, find yourself standing tall. Broaden your shoulders, tighten your core. Mentally ground your energy down through that right foot. Get light in the right and open the hip. Find your leg position on this side. It may be different than it was the previous side. Take a deep breath and start to extend your left arm out and up. You can take both arms out and up. Find your personal tree. Are you willowy today? Or are you feeling strong and steadfast like an oak? Or are you just a sapling wiggling in the breeze? Look inside and find where you're at and find peace in that moment. And then release. Okay. So let's move on to our building flow sequence. So like I said, we're going to blend poses. When I do the standing version, you don't have to. You can stay seated and repeat that in a seated version. Or you can just mentally put that oomph into it. Or you can really rise to the challenge and see how far you want to go today. I know that after I practiced this sequence, I felt it. Like I was like, wow, that was a bit of a workout. So let's just begin and see how it goes. Key things: trust your body, respect your body, follow your limits. All right, so sitting in mountain pose in the chair, inhale the arms out and up. We're going to hinge forward at the hips for Utkatasana. Here's our chair pose, reaching up, looking up. Now we're still going to reach up, but look down at your feet and maybe tuck them in just an inch or so you can just see your toes beyond your knees. We're going to swoop our arms down and lift them up and hover just over the seat of the chair. You might just go up this far. You might go up as like a couple inches or somewhere in between. And then sit down, release. So we did our seated chair pose and our standing chair pose. So we'll move on, we'll repeat that and then add on high lunge. So anyway, sit. Sorry, I just lost it again. Pull your back together, sit in your chair in Tadasana. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. We know what we're going to do now, so we're prepared mentally. Let's give it a go. Open the eyes, inhale up. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips, seated chair pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Look down, see if your feet can tuck under just a little bit. Swoop your arms down, swoop up and hover for standing chair pose. Nice deep breaths and release, sit down. Keep your arms up. We're going to pick up our right foot, step it off to the side. Then I'm going to turn our torso and our hips to the side, letting that left knee drop down. Step that left foot back as far back as you like for a seated high lunge. You might be able to really extend that leg. You might feel more comfortable keeping it bent. Now we're going to rise up into a standing high lunge. So you're going to reach up with your hands and push off those feet. You're going to push down to the ground. You're going to lift the hips up, either with just your mind or using those muscle powers and really powering it up for a standing high lunge. It's a very deep high lunge too, right? And release. Take it all down and back in. What do you think? That's okay, right? No, let's do it to this side. All right, starting with mountain pose. Regain your composure, sitting square and tall. Inhaling, the arms come out and up. Hinging forward at the hips for chair pose, Utkatasana. Reach up, but look down, tuck your feet under just a little bit. I'm going to swoop the arms down and swoop up. See if we can rise up off the chair. Just for a moment to hover and then sit back down. I want to reach up, step your left leg out, turn your torso and your hips toward that leg, dropping your knee in, and then maybe step it back a little for high lunge. Seated high lunge, you can really reach up and arch back a little and stretch in your high lunge. And let's take it to standing high lunge. We're going to reach up with our hands and push down on our feet as we lift our hips off the chair, just like an inch less, maybe less than a millimeter, who knows. Let's give it a go. And release. Bring it all back in. Turn up the temperature in here a little bit. Okay, let's move on. This time we will add, gate pose and a modified side plank. Now in our modified side plank, we're not going to move a lot when we try to stand up in it, but you'll feel it in your side body. So we're starting in Tadasana. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge forward, chair pose. Look up, stretch. Then drop the arms, swoop them up. Use that momentum to help yourself hover and standing Utkatasana. And then sit back down. We're going to pick up the right foot, step it off to the side. And then rotate our torso towards that side, stretching that left foot back for high lunge pose. We're going to lift up into high lunge standing. You might be able to straighten that back leg a little more when you're standing. And then sit down. Let's drop our arms. So this left leg, we're going to bring it in and stretch it straight out to the side on the front facing part of the chair. And we're going to keep our torso oriented to the side of the chair, our bent right leg. Inhale the arms up. Drop the left hand down to the left thigh. Arch over for a great gate pose. Gate pose. Breathe in and breathe out. It's a beautiful side stretch. You can energetically push down on that right hip. Feel the stretch in your right side body. And feel the extension of your left leg. Take both arms up. You're going to drop your your right hand, by your right hip. If you need to make a little more room, go ahead. Sorry, my chair is so squeaky. And then we're going to stretch it over to the side for a side plank. So our left hand is going to stretch toward the back of the chair. So we're making a long line of energy with our left foot through the left heel, up the left body. And then we're going to push in to that right foot and right hand. See if we can get a little more stretch. Hover the hips just off the seat of the chair. Stretch and lift and release. I'm sure Olaf would love to come up in here, but all right, let's bring it all back to center and we'll add those pieces on, doing it to the left. Tadasana. Inhale up, exhale, hinge. Swoop the arms down, tuck the toes under, lift up, rise up, and hover Utkatasana. Breathing deep, and sit back down. Reaching up, you're going to pick up your left foot, turn it toward the side. Dropping your knee in, turning your torso and hips toward the side, and stretching that right leg out and back. High lunge pose. Reaching up. Going to push into the ground. See if we can't lift up that left buttock off the chair just for a moment. Maybe pushing back in that back heel before releasing back down. And use the back of the chair to hold me up as I pick up that right leg and stretch it out. So my right leg remains, guys, just sit here and watch me struggle with language, huh? Okay. I'm sorry. My left leg is bent, facing the side of the chair. My torso is facing the side of the chair. My right leg is down and out toward the side. I'm going to lift up my arms to get some length in the body. Reaching up with the left arm, take the right arm down the thigh, arch it over for gate pose. Nice deep breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Pressing down in the left sit bone as we reach up and over with the left hand. And then take both hands up. You're going to drop your left hand by your left hip, making a little room if you need to. And then reach back towards the back of the chair, making a straight line of energy from your right fingers to your right heel. And then pushing into that hand in that bent leg's foot and lifting the hips off for a modified side plank. See if you can feel those ribs stretch out on the right side of the body. Long, straight line. And release. Okay, we're building up the heat now. We're going to move on to Wild Thing pose, also known as Kamakkarasana. And that's a really deep back bend, and we'll be able to modify it with a chair. You may choose to take part in any level of the pose, from the seated part up to the standing up and arching back gracefully part. Again, respect your body, find your limits, trust yourself. Sitting up tall, take a deep breath in and let it go. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips, Utkatasana. Tuck the feet under just a little bit, swoop the arms down. Use the momentum to lift and hover, and then sit back down. Picking up your right foot, stepping it off to the side, keeping that knee bent. And then we're going to turn the torso and the hips toward that side and dropping the left knee down, stretching the foot back for high lunge pose. Deep breath in our seated high lunge. And then push up, reach for the sky, push down into the earth for standing high lunge. And then release. Drop the arms. Take that left foot down, slide it straight out so it's coming off the front of the chair. Our body's facing the side. Still lift the arms up. Take left hand to left thigh. Arch it over for gate pose. Inhale and exhale. Both arms up. You're going to drop the right hand by the right hip. First reach up and then arch it back. You might want to bend your right elbow to find some extra space there. And when you're ready, push into that right hand, lifting the left hip up toward the sky for a modified side plank. And then release. We're going to add on our wild thing pose. Take that straight leg, bend the knee. You're going to have to find if your hips are more closed, you might want to have your foot more forward. If you have open shaped hips, you might find that it's better a little out. So play around with it a little bit and find the optimal place for this angle. I have like a 45, 50 degree angle. So our standing leg that we're going to ground down the earth will be our left foot here. We're going to straighten our right leg. And I think I like to slide a little bit more towards the edge of the chair. Make sure your posture is good, your core is tight. So just to clarify, your right leg is extended straight off the side of the chair, and your left foot is planted firmly into the ground. You're going to take your right hand forward, up and back. Now you're going to take your palm to the seat of the chair, and I have my fingers resting on the back of the chair, and that already starts the back bend. And I'm going to lean into that back bend so that right arm is like a little kickstand. And the left arm comes up and it floats back. And this is your seated wild thing pose. It's really open. Breathing in and breathing out. And then release. So next we're going to lift it up off the chair. We're going to lift the hips up. The first time I tried this, my mind was like, okay. Then my body was like, no. Then my mind was like, no. My body was like, maybe. And I think it moved like an inch. But obviously I've been practicing it before I teach it. So now I feel more comfortable with the movement. Because again, it's not something we do every day. And we were much more prone towards slouching forward than opening back. So give yourself some time. Maybe work with it a few times. Or maybe just watch me and laugh, whatever. Okay, so anyway, just to reiterate, my right leg is straight. My left foot is planted towards the earth. My right hand comes up, arches back, beginning the back bend. I'm really anchoring my hand on the edge of the chair so that my palm is on the seat of the chair. My fingers are wrapped around. This left hand is going to lift up my hips magically. Ready? Lift. Pushing into that left foot, arching back. Any amount that feels right, maybe less than an inch, maybe several inches. I have no idea how high I'm up. Feels like I'm way up in the air, but I could not be. And come down. Let's do it one more time just while we're in position. Just use your mind, let the body follow, and lift. Pushing in with the left leg, pushing in with that back arm into the chair, and getting light. And returning. Undo everything, come back to center. Take a minute, shake it out, see how everything felt. It feel okay? Feels okay. Feels like I've woken up some muscles that were sleeping. Okay, other side, let's do it. Sitting in Tadasana, our chair pose. Tucking the feet over, under. Just to begin, inhale up. Exhale, hinge forward for our chair pose. Drop the arms down, swoop the arms up and hover. Lucky I'm like going late on time. We can't hover here forever, right? And sit, reaching up. Picking up your left foot, opening out to the side. Dropping that right knee as we turn the torso and the hips toward the side of the chair. Stretching that right foot back. Here's our high lunge. Let's lift right up into standing high lunge. Or just think about it. Or don't. Here we are. And release. Draw in that right leg, stretch it out, sideways down the front of the chair. Torso, shoulders, hips, again, facing towards that left side. Reach the arms up. Left arm goes up, right arm comes down. Gate pose. Deep stretch and rise up. Your left hand's going to come down by your left hip. We're going to make a straight line by leaning towards the back of the chair. From your right fingers to your right heel. We're going to push into that left hand, left foot, lifting the hips just an inch, making the chair creak. Should have used stuff you did before I began, right? And come down. Okay, we're going to prepare for our wild thing pose. By bringing in this right leg, the knee is going to be bent. So we're going to straighten out our left leg, again, maybe sliding to the front of the chair. And we're going to give this side a go. Torso straight, shoulders squared off towards the left leg. Take the left hand up and back. Place the palm on the back seat of the chair. Feel the back bend right here. Arch back. See if that feels okay for you. Open the shoulder, open the chest. And then if you want to proceed, take that right hand up and drape it back. As far back as it'll go. No need to strain or stress. And return. Let's do that again. We'll try the stand this time. So we're going to push strongly into that left hand, strongly into this foot, this leg, and lift up the hips. Maybe just this much. Maybe really go back. Maybe you just think about it. Maybe you don't even think about it. You just say whatever and catch up with me on the next one, right? Let's do it again. Lift up as far as feels good. And release. Okay, unwind. All right, so it's getting late, but let's just run through that sequence and close it out. Okay, sitting tall. Inhale the arms up. Hinge forward for Utkatasana. Tuck the feet under slightly. Drop the arms. Swoop up. Sit down. Pivot everything towards the right. Dropping that left knee down, stretching the foot back. High lunge. Lift up. Release. We're going to take the arms down. We're going to take that left leg in. Stretch it straight towards each other. Arms up. Left hand to left thigh. Over we go for gate pose. Both arms up. Dropping the right hand to the right hip. Leaning it back. Lifting the hips if you got it. Don't if you don't. Come on down. Bending that left leg. Straightening out the right leg. Scooching forward if you need to. Moving fast now, aren't we? You're doing it. You take your right hand up, back. Your palm goes to the back of the chair. Try your back bend. Add on if you want. Take the arm down and swoop it up. Again, pushing into that right hand and right foot. If it feels good for wild thing pose, come on down. Bend your right knee. Step the left forward. Just going to do a little twist. Turn your torso toward the front. Take your right forearm to your right thigh and side stretch. Just a gentle rotated stretch. And come back. Help that leg in towards center. Swoop the arms up and stand. Bravo. Namaste. Except we got to do the other side. Okay. We got this. We're on the home stretch. We're on the final countdown. We're winning. Or we're just watching TV, whatever. Sitting up straight. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge forward, Utkatasana. Looking up and then dropping the arms, lifting up, hovering, strong inner fierce pose, and then sitting it down. Picking up the left foot, orienting our body towards the left. Dropping the right knee, stretching the right foot back, high lunge. Lifting up, standing high lunge, and then sitting down. From here, we'll drop the arms. Take that the right leg in, stretch it sideways, straight out towards the front of the chair. Orient the body toward the left leg, I've lost it. Reaching up. Right hand to right thigh, arch over for gate pose. And come up. Left hand to left hip. Lean back toward the back of the chair and lift up if you're feeling it, and come down. Final move, so close. Bend that right leg up, straighten the left leg out, scooch into position where it feels good. And then take your left arm up, over and back. Hook it on the back side of the chair. Start your back bend, see how that feels. And then lift the right arm, see how that feels. And then swoop down. We're gonna jam that foot in the earth. Same thing with that left hand, and lift. See if we can find some grace in the movement. And come down. Whew. Let's bend this left leg. Square off the hips, kind of like a 90-degree angle. Turn the torso toward the front. Left forearm to left thigh, side stretch. There we go, that feels nice. Slowing it down. Come back. Take that left leg into the front. Let's swoop the arms forward, up, Utkatasana to stand and release. Wow, I told you it was a challenge class, right? Holy cow. It feels good though, but I'm warm. Let's just slow it down a minute. Sit back in our chairs. Roll our shoulders up and back. Close our eyes. Have your feet resting on the floor. And take a few deep breaths. If the exertion of the class has accelerated your breathing, take control back of the breath and slow it down. Let the heart rate come down. Let the respiratory rate come down. Find ease and acceptance in your yoga practice and in your life. It's a lot to ask, right? It just takes practice. You just keep reminding yourself. You surround yourself with those who can help remind you. You be a role model. You look to your people for role models. You just look around you to find acceptance, find caring, self-caring, caring for others. Slow down the breath. Thank yourself for being here and getting through this practice and appreciating your success at whatever level you're at. Take one more deep breath and one more exhalation. Open your eyes, sit up tall. Take your hands out to the side. We'll share one more breath together. Inhale up. Palms touch. Exhale through to the heart center. Namaste. We're done. We made it. Thank you. Bye.